Okay. Okay. Oh, oh my gosh! Drifted that corner in a 83 Turbo Esprit. What's up everybody, my name is Thomas with TMWYT. Today we are going to check out this very cool Lotus garage. It's one of my dad's good friends, his name is Rich. He has some crazy classic Lotusi? I don't know, plural Lotus. We're gonna go check out his garage and interview him, kind of get to know him and take a ride in his cars, and it's gonna be super fun. So let's go.
My name's Rich Shea. I live in Salt Lake City and I am a Lotus enthusiast. Currently, I have two Lotus, a 78 Series 2 Esprit and an 83 Investors Edition Turbo Esprit.
And this car right here.
This is an 83 Jaguar XJS.
With the V12,
With
correct?
the V12 engine, and it's a lovely car.
That's awesome.
That's gonna be my geezer car. Way back when I was just a kid making model cars, and I built a slot car track, and that was fun. Then high school rolls around, and I had my first car was a pickup with a 283 V8 in it. I took an auto shop class, pulled the motor out, hot rodded it sort of. Turns out that the shop instructor I had didn't know what he was doing, and that engine only lasted about 5,000 miles.
Would you say Lotus is your favorite brand of cars?
For me personally, when I was an instructor out there, you know, we'd have 30 guys with these exotic cars that could afford the $5,000 entry fee. Part of it was a track day where they'd spend half the day on the track or the whole day on the track learning how to drive these cars. And some of them were just terrified of their cars. So you drive it and show me how to do it. Okay, well, you don't have to ask me twice. So I put them in the passenger seat and we go for a ride around the racetrack. We still do that, as a matter of fact. And I got to drive some extremely fast cars. One that sticks in my mind is a Porsche Carrera GT.
Oh yeah.
One of these 600 horsepower.
The
carbon.
V10 and the...
Oh, just a beautiful car. What a delightful car to drive. Fast and light and strong. But it's not a Lotus. Yeah, every Lotus that I've had, they behave the same as the race car did. They're extremely well balanced, especially this car.
The Esprit Turbo is the best handling one?
That's the best handling one that I personally own. Especially out on the racetrack, you steer them as much with the throttle as you do with the steering wheel. They're so well balanced that when you get into a turn, if the back end starts coming around, you push down on the throttle and it'll hook the back end up. And if the front washes out, you lift on it just a little bit. So as you go around a turn, you're feathering the throttle the entire way to get the car to go where you want it to go. If you want it to turn a little steeper, you lift on the gas a little bit and the back will move out. Then you can hook it back up again by putting more on the throttle and drive it around that way. They're just delightful.
Lotus feels like a race car, always.
That's it. It's a race car with feature comforts.
So you really like the older stuff that you kind of grew up around?
That's a good way to put it. My high school dream cars, sure.
There you go. So would you say this Esprit Turbo, is that your dream car?
Well, if I had all the money in the world, I'd have this car, and then I'd buy one of the V8 Esprits, probably a 2002. Hard to work on, quirky, just like every other Lotus out there. They're lovely cars.
This is only a 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-cylinder turbo?
Yeah, it's a plastic car. It's got a steel chassis underneath it.
That's amazing.
And the bodies, they make the bodies in two pieces. The belt line around the middle is where they bond the two pieces together.
How much does it weigh?
This car weighs about 2,200 pounds.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And tell me how you got this one again?
Di and I went to log 35, Lotus Owners Gathering 35 in Colorado Springs in 2015. And we took the yellow car So we took the yellow car to Colorado Springs and did the Lotus Owners Gathering there. It was in August. Beautiful, beautiful drive, lovely time, had a lot of fun. Drove to the top of Pikes Peak and back down. On the way home, it was August, it was hot, and the yellow car doesn't have air conditioning. So, okay, you can roll the windows down, but then the wind noise is deafening. Or you can roll them up and roast to death. I like the early turbo cars. I like the early Esprits. They call these G cars. The body style was designed by Giugiaro. I like the Giugiaro body style. I think it's beautiful. In 1988, they changed the body style. It's still an Esprit, but I was looking for a G-body Esprit that had AC on it. So one of the our local car friends in the Lotus Club, he sent out a note that says somebody ought to buy this car. So I called the guy, and he fed me a big line of crap. Oh yeah, you'll have it on the road in a week, a couple of weeks. It's not that big a deal. So I flew out there. Again, with a toolbox and an overnight bag. He said you might even be able to fix it enough to drive it home. Yeah, well, I did a compression test on it, made extremely good compression. Almost zero difference between any of the cylinders. Just wonderful. Made good oil pressure, wouldn't run, nowhere even close. Headlights wouldn't go up and down, none of the lights worked. Okay, well, this car isn't gonna drive home. So I asked him when the last time it ran, and he said, oh, about 2 years ago. When was the last time it drove? Oh, about 5 years ago. Well, he got it in 98, and it sat in his carport from 1998 up until 2016 when I went out there to look at it. And there's no way that car was gonna just dump gas in it and drive it. It wasn't gonna happen. So we dickered, and I put it on a truck and mailed it home. I got it here, got into it, and I ended up pulling the engine and gearbox out of it. And the short story is I had to bring it back to life one system at a time. Well, it'd been sitting for so long, some leaves have got down in there and clogged up the drain hole. So they filled up with water, which destroyed all the relays that run everything electrical in the front of the car, along with the headlight motors, a bunch of other stuff. What a pain in the neck.
Yeah, we have a self-punishing passion, don't we?
It's apparently so. Everything is matched and balanced on these Investor Edition cars. They're special cars. They really are. So I got it home, got it going. I got about, I put over 40,000 miles on it now. The paint it was under a carport, so it didn't get baked, but it'd been in acid rain and the smog and the fog. There was tons of stuff embedded in the paint, and it took a while to make it shiny again. But that's
Is this the same thing as the yellow? Is this a gel coat?
No. This is paint.
This is actual paint.
Yeah, they couldn't make the gel coat work. If there was anything whatsoever in the mold, then it had to show up in the gel coat, and there's flaws through that. You can see them here and there.
That just came from the factory?
Just from the factory.
That's awesome.
That's an extremely early Series 2 Esprit.
I love that. That car's beautiful.
That's a beautiful car.
Rich, can you and Thomas, can we take that out for a drive?
Which car? This one?
Esprit Turbo.
Sure. Kind of an interesting concept, isn't it? This thing, it's bone stock. The only thing I did is pull off a bunch of the parasitic pollution shit that they put on for California.
Right.
That was it. It was just for California.
Yeah, all the California crap.
Yeah.
Which they still do today. Oh my gosh. Oh, it moves.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
For an older car? Wow! This is awesome. I love how the fire extinguisher is down here on the floor.
Well, it's a plastic car.
Yeah.
We've got a carbureted engine.
It's,
The carburetors are right over the top of the distributor. So if there's any kind of a carb leak, it leaks on top of the distributor and the car catches fire and burns down. The boost gauge go up to about 7 pounds.
it just feels so graceful and elegant and smooth.
It's a Lotus, man.
I love it. But then the shaking and the whole, it's a cool experience. Thank you.
Well, I like the whole package.
You just like the whole car as it comes.
It's a very well balanced piece of equipment. The thing about a Lotus is nothing on it is over-engineered.
Right.
The whole thing is designed to work together as a package. And guys will buy a Lotus, and the first thing they do is screw in an extra 50 horsepower, and then the transmission breaks. Okay, so they put in a different gearbox, and the chassis starts failing. So, I think we're getting up to where the pressure, the oil temperature is about where we can romp on it.
Okay.
So we'll be able to charge this turn.
Okay. Oh, oh my gosh! That was the greatest thing. So you're not kidding, you drive the hell out of this thing.
That's what it's for.
That's awesome, I love it. I think that's the greatest thing I've ever done right there. You just drifted that corner in a 83 Turbo Esprit.
Yep.
Wow. And it doesn't make a whole ton of power, it's really how light the car is.
Yeah, it doesn't need a whole lot.
Yeah. That's what I love about Lotus.
Doesn't need giant tires. Doesn't need huge wheels or giant tires or these great big brakes. It doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah. It just truly is just a track car. Take your wife out to dinner, then the next morning, drive it out to the track.
Take it out to the track.
Yeah. I had no idea that this car would feel this cool.
It's fast.
It's fast. I think that is the fastest turn entry onto a freeway I think I've ever done.
Well, I'll admit I was putting on a bit of a show too.
Of course.
That's a slow way around that turn with all the noise and tires spinning and whatnot. But it's pretty exciting for the passenger.
Oh yeah. We had a great time talking today and driving this fantastic Lotus Esprit Turbo and seeing his car collection in the garage. Such a fun experience. Loved all the stories. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. If you guys enjoyed that video, kind of a little bit different for you. Oh my gosh, that carbureted Esprit Turbo smells so good. So awesome. Love doing that. That was super fun. If you guys enjoyed, thank you so much for watching. This is me and my pops saying we'll catch you in the next one.